Okay, today is December the 4th, 2015. We're watching the NOAA Goes West water vapor loop. This is the Northeast Pacific view. And we have a very large storm approaching the west coast. And tonight we're watching this because the local weather people have forecasted that this storm here will not bring any significant weather to our area in Los Angeles until next Wednesday or Thursday or even Friday. This is what I've been waiting to hear the local weather in Los Angeles, and that's what I just heard, that this system will not bring any rain to, or any weather at all to the area, if it does, until next Wednesday or Thursday. That's quite a few days off. It's Friday now. You got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's 5 days away. There's something wrong with that picture. This should be moving in within the next day or two at the very most. So what's happening here is that they're setting up high pressure. We can see that happening, and that is going to fill in this entire area with high pressure, and that will serve to block a lot of this front right here, which is trying to move in and deliver rain. Now, the pressure maps show some interesting features at the 500 and 300 millibar level, which may keep this thing in place for a day or two, or maybe longer, until they can work on it, beat it up with the HAARP transmitters, and then let it move in. That may be part of the plan, why they're forecasting this system to not deliver any weather until next week, the middle of next week. All right, so let's take a look at some of these other maps. Again, we have this very large area of high pressure all through here, this channel of high pressure. That's going to expose the ocean to a lot of infrared radiation from the sun, as well as UV rays. Okay, and we have a lot to look at. So let's go ahead and take a look at the infrared loop. We can see the jet stream is moving along here, and it's interrupted. We've got that high pressure that's being installed right here over the California area. All right, let's take a look at this other map. This is the western U.S. water vapor loop. We can see the size of that storm. This is just enormous. It's almost the size of the United States. Now, on the weather report I just watched on KCAL-9 in Los Angeles, they didn't show this. They didn't show any part of the Pacific. They only showed us a very narrow area of very narrow aperture of weather. So, I think the reason is that they don't want the public to ask too many questions about why we're not getting rain from these huge systems that are developing very, very large ocean swells and all the rest of it. They're under gag order for a few things, but I'm sure that gag order also covers divulging information about what's really going on with our weather. All right, let's take a look at the. This is the jet stream map, and we can see that there's a disruption right off of California, right here. There, a portion of this is turning down and then moving right into California, heading east, and then it turns back up towards the northeast. But this high pressure that they're installing right now will block all of this. It'll cut this off, certainly, and this will have to find another path. So that's the mission. They're going to stop the rain. Let's go back and look at this again. You can see that the area is being cleared out. They're installing high pressure right here. That's pretty obvious. And this will have nowhere to go but up and over. And this core, meantime, will probably, you can see what's happening here. This core is sort of spiraling around, and they can work on that for a while offshore. There's the water vapor once again. Okay, so the West Coast should be getting a lot of rain, many inches of rain from this huge system. This would solve our drought in one, half of figure, 5 inches of rain or something. That's a huge system. Anyway, let's look at the surface pressure map. We can see what's going on here. This is a 962 millibar storm system, and there are dashed lines throughout the core of the system indicating significant weather activity, turbulent winds, and all the rest of it. So this area here is just full of these lines, and we've got storms indicated all throughout. And on the 500 millibar, there's actually 2 low pressure cores that are spinning around each other. It's like a dual low pressure system. If there's another low, this is the surface map, of course, but on the 500 millibar, we can see a little bit later what that looks like. Okay, this is the, right here, this is the SSEC geostationary map, and we can see all the chemtrail activity going on in the area. This front, all this right here is all chemtrail. They're running lines every which way. Same with down here, all out here, offshore. Right here, you can see the chemtrails being laid out right there, and all through right here. Okay, now let's take a look at MODIS. This is a color satellite. It's a color high-resolution satellite of the California coast. And we'll start down at the border. It's San Diego right here. And everything you're seeing right here, except for the very white stuff, is all chemtrail mix. We've got some real clouds right here, but everything else is chemtrail. In fact, there's so many of these chemtrails, you can barely see the. This is the Salton Sea right over here. That is about as big as Lake Tahoe, but it's only about 60 feet deep. But that's a big lake, and it's almost completely obscured by these chemtrails. It's actually a wonder when you look at this carefully. You can see that these streaks are running just in a chaotic manner. They're running every which way. There's no rhyme or reason to the spray pattern. They're just flying. It's a wonder we're not seeing collisions in the air, really, from these planes. There's so many of these trails everywhere. And as we pan around, I'll show you some interesting stuff here. This picture was spliced together. Apparently they took a shot at a different time and spliced that together, maybe to hide some detail or I don't know what, but you can see the chemtrails here offshore. Here's a unique horseshoe pattern right here. Plane did a big horseshoe U-turn. And all this ribbon stuff, this is what the chemtrails do when they're sprayed and then there's a wind shear, wind moving along, and it makes these look like a ribbon. There's a ribbon feature to it. That's the best way I can describe it. Okay, here's some real clouds. But basically, California was just completely stifled by all this chemtrail activity to stop the rain. We didn't have any rain at all. In fact, this morning, the relative humidity this morning was it was 40%, and currently, right now, it's 52%, almost 53%. But the barometric pressure is the key thing. It's now 30.10, so it's raised significantly since this morning. It was 30.03 this morning, and if we go back and look at the map again, we can see what's happening. They're installing high pressure to block the west coast, Southern California area. So by tomorrow, this entire area here will probably be completely cleared out, just like this area right here. This is still all exposed to direct sunlight, which will raise the surface temperature of the ocean. All right, let's look at the pressure maps. This is the 500 millibar. We can see 2 low pressures. These are spinning around each other, and we see some interesting features here. These are little ridges of indicating high pressure. So when I heard the weather report that we're not going to see any of this weather until next Wednesday. I thought, what? That's crazy. But the reason is I think they're going to stall this thing for a while until they can work on it. They're going to continue to hit this with transmitters and whatever they need to do to beat this thing up before they let it on shore. And meanwhile, they'll just spray the hell out of the front and use Santa Ana winds. They'll park high pressure over California to keep all this out of California. And then maybe by next Wednesday, they'll let the residual clouds blow over. So that's kind of what I'm thinking they're up to. All right, let's look at the 300 millibar. This is the 30,000 foot map right here. We can see these ridges right here all the way down. Got high pressure prepared to deal with this system. And I just don't think they're going to let it any closer. Of course, it has a front that's moving around, but they've got that all chemtrailed, as we were just looking at. All right, here is this is the wave analysis map, and we can see that the system is generating 33-foot swells in the core, and also all through here, just very, very high swells. And right now, we're expecting some 10 to 15-foot surf along the Southern California and Northern California coastline. 15 foot, look at this, all the way along here. All right, so we'll keep an eye on all this, and we will do an update certainly tomorrow. But I find it very telling that our local weather puppets will not give us a shot of the Pacific like this. They will not show us what's going on. That tells me a lot. Okay, so we will do another update tomorrow. That's it.